So now that we've looked a little bit at keywords, we're going to look at a couple of other ways of filtering images. Typically, once you finish a shoot, you come in, you have all of these images, and you need some way of narrowing down the ones that you're actually going to pay attention to. Applying keywords to everything, right? If you're going to do them in big chunks, that makes sense, right? You want to have those keywords there, whether or not it's necessarily an image that you're going to use, because maybe you don't think you'll use it now, but later on, all of a sudden it's important and you will need to use it. So once you've gone through and applied keywords to stuff, you make sure you have all your copyright and contact and et cetera in there. We're going to go through and do some ranking to try and cull down the images. So here in my library, I'm here with all of these pictures. Typically, I would be working in previous import, right? Because those would be the pictures I just brought in that I haven't done anything to yet. And I'm going to go here, select my first image, and I'm going to go through first and apply stars. Now, stars, if I have an image selected and I hit 1, not Command 1, not Control 1, not Option, Alt, Delete 1, whatever, just 1 on the keyboard. I do that and you can see that there's now a star down there. If you hit 1 and you don't see that star, go in and make sure that it is set up properly in your grid view so that it does have the rankings on there. There's a PDF about that. So if I hit 1, that's 1 star, 2, 2 stars, 3, 3 stars, 4, wait for it, 4 stars, and 5 stars. If I hit 0, it goes back and zeroes it out again. The great thing about stars is that they are sort of one is clearly more than another, right? Like 5 stars is more than 1 star. So you can use them to say, okay, this one is better than that one. When I'm working with regular pictures, I will go through first and make a general pass where everything gets maybe 1 or 2 stars, maybe something will get a 3-star once in a while. And then, I'll show you in just a sec, I will hide everything that doesn't have any stars at all, and I'll make a second pass, right? Because the first time, I don't really know what's there. You know, like there's probably a picture I'm like, oh, this picture is good, give it a star. There may be a picture 2 frames later that is much better. So I don't want to be giving things 5 stars when there's nothing higher that I can get to. So for this exercise, I'm going to go through and give them stars based on the card. So that's an ace, that gets 1 star, 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars, 1, 2, whoops, that's 2 again. If you give something the wrong rating, right, like I just given that a 3, I don't need to zero it out and then hit 2. If I have it on 3, I can just hit 2. It will overwrite whatever the previous ranking was. 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. I guess it's a 3 on top. 3, 3, 4, 5. Nothing and nothing. Okay, so I've gone through now and I've given things stars based on the cards that are there. Now I can go in and down at the bottom here, there is, let's hit this little toolbar, right? So if I wanted to, if I didn't want to hit it on the keyboard, I could come down here and do it there. Again, that's T on the keyboard to bring that up. The thing that I really want is down here at the bottom where it says filters. And I'm going to say filter by rated. So now you can see down at the bottom it says filter greater than or equal to 1 star. So now it's showing me everything that has at least 1 star. So if it has 2 stars, right, that's here. If it has 1 star, that's here. If it has 0 stars, like those last 2 images did, they're not showing up, right? They're not deleted, it's just hiding them from me. If I went and said, show me 2 stars and above, right, now it's only things that have 2, 3, 4, or 5 stars. So again, this is when I bring stuff in, I make that initial pass. I'm like, oh, okay, you know, 1 star, 1 star, 1 star, 2 star, 2 star, 1 star, no stars, no stars, no stars, no stars, 1 star. Then I'm like, okay, show me everything 1 or above, right? Shows me just that, and I can go through again. And now a bunch of things that are 1 star may get demoted. A couple of things may get upvoted to 4 stars or something like that. It's just a nice way to sort of winnow all the pictures after you bring them in, so you don't have to go in and do all this fine-tuned editing to everything. It's also a chance to like see everything you have and then make a second pass through it. If I go in here, click on it again. So if I had 1 star, right, click on the 1 star, get rid of it, and it's back to no filter. The other thing we can do besides stars are colors. So colors, if 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are stars, 6, 7, 8, and 9 are colors. So 6 is red, 7 is yellow, 8 is green, 9 is blue. There is also purple, which you cannot get on the keyboard. You have to come down here and hit it right there. So I don't use colors that much. The thing with a color is that there's no hierarchy, right? Like purple isn't more than yellow. Maybe some of you with synesthesia may disagree with me, but generally speaking. So what I use them for is not sort of ranking better or worse in the way that I do with stars. I use colors to say, okay, this is something that is, out of these shots, this one is my select, or this one is going to the client, or this one, more often, this one needs retouching, right? So I'll put a note on it essentially being like, hey, you need to bring this into Photoshop. Maybe you need to composite these 2 images together. That's what I'll use colors for. So it's not like yes image, no image. It's saying, okay, you need to do an additional step to it. What you use them for will be up to you. For this exercise, we're going to go through and do them based on the color of the marker in this shot. So that's a green marker. Green was 8. Okay, so we'll go through and hit the number 8 on the keyboard. You can see as it does it that it gives me this nice color thing around it. 8, nothing, nothing, nothing. 8 again. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Oh, that one's yellow. What was yellow? 7? Oops, I missed one there. That one's yellow too. Okay, yellow, 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 green, green, yellow, yellow. Oops, green, 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 green. Okay, so now I've got things that have stars and things that have colors. Now, when I start to go searching for stuff, come back up here to the top, attribute, and I can combine these things. So I can say, okay, give me something that's at least 1 star and yellow, right? So now I see if yellow was, I don't know, stuff going to one client versus another. These would be all the ones that were at least 1 star and had that yellow designation. So you can start to combine these things to get more complicated search terms. I come back up here and hit none as a way of clearing that out. There are also some pictures here which I think we've already established we don't really want, right? The ones with my giant S head in them. We can reject those. Excuse me, that's another way of designating something. If I select an image and hit X, you see it has a little black flag with an X through it, and it is set as rejected, which, that hurts. There's another one, reject that. Again, this is not something that I use very often, but, if it works with the way that you are taking photos and you are editing photos, then that makes sense and you should do it. Once you have gone through and said, okay, these photos are my good photos or rejected photos, whatever they may be, once you have those photos that are rejected, you can come up to the photo menu, come all the way down to the bottom and say delete rejected photos. It's removing them from my current collection. Bloop. And now they're no longer here and I don't have to look at them. So those are a couple of things we had, right? We had stars so that you can get a ranking. We had colors so that you can assign a particular characteristic to an image, right? Colors are non-hierarchical. Stars are hierarchical, right? 5 is more than 4. Blue is not more than green. So the colors, you will decide what their meaning is for you. The stars, everybody kind of agrees that more stars is better. And then you can go in here to the library filter and use the search characteristics or criteria to winnow out the images that are below a certain ranking. I then make another pass through it. You can combine ranking and color. And lastly, you can use the flags. You can hit X to reject a photo, and then go over to the photo menu down to the bottom and delete those photos all at once. So those are some ranking and tagging criteria. And now we will go on to look at collections.